Can you, are you going to impose tariffs on steel coming into the United States? And if you are, have you thought about the impact on our ports? I'm sure you have, but.
Sure. Well, the report itself under the Section 232 investigation is at this moment a work in progress.
Yes.
So it will be completed very, very shortly. But the remedies that could be recommended, and if we do recommend remedies, there's a fairly wide range of alternatives. And then the question will be, what does the president do with whatever recommendation we make? Because this is just a recommendation. This is not a final action. There are basically three kinds of actions that could be recommended if one concluded that remedies were needed. The first would be, as you suggest, imposing tariffs at some sort of a level above and beyond the countervailing duty and anti-dumping ones that we already have. The second would be imposing quotas, and then the third would be a kind of hybrid, say, so-called tariff rate quota, where you would set the quotas based on the actual experience in recent years, and then provide that in the event that there were imports of those particular products from those particular countries in excess of the quotas, then there would be an additional tariff imposed. That last one would be not very impactful on inflation because it would essentially say we're protecting something like the original status quo and only imposing additional tariff burden in the event that the quotas are exceeded. Well, presumably they're not going to go over the quota by 50 or 100%, so the overall impact on inflation, were that to be the root, should be relatively modest. So we're very mindful of the need both to protect the domestic steel producers from inappropriate behavior on the part of foreign dumpers, but also to protect the steel consumers, the steel fabricators, the auto companies, everybody else who uses steel. So in the event we come with a recommendation, it will be, I hope, a thoughtful one and one that reflects the balance of the needs of these various segments. But there is, I believe, a genuine national security issue that must be considered in this case, because steel is used in over 10,000 different products that the military needs, and there's no steel mill in the country that can operate just on government business. And there are very few steel mills that are able to produce the certain kinds of alloyed steel that are very important for armor plate and other very specialized applications, including the great big bomb that was used so successfully in Afghanistan. That bomb comes from the same plant that normally makes oilfield tubular goods. So while the bomb itself is not a huge item, it certainly proved its usefulness in Afghanistan. And so it's a complicated issue. I'm sure it's one to which the president will give very serious and very thoughtful consideration about all of the implications of it. And we certainly will try to in the report we put out.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. You're a smart guy, and I'm glad you're with us, and thank you for your willingness to serve.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy.